Today we are going to go on an interactive story about Florence Nightingale. It is important for everybody to know who she is because she paved the way for many women nurses, and then she also saved many dying men during the Crimean War in the 1800s. She changed the view of nursing, and we are going to discuss her background, why she chose to become a nurse. We are also going to discuss the efforts that she made during the Crimean War, and then we will also discuss why she had many different opportunities presented to her after the time during the war. So let's start with her background and why she chose to become a nurse. Despite her parents' opposition, according to History.com, Florence Nightingale, November 9th, 2009, she became a nurse because she had a childhood full of philanthropy, and she wanted to help people who are ill, people who are struggling, and her parents didn't really want her to do that. They wanted her to get married and to become the housewife and not to follow this dream of hers, but she persevered. She enrolled as a nursing student at the Lutheran Hospital of Pastor Fieldner in Germany. And after she graduated, she went and worked at a hospital for a year, and she actually became quite ill doing that. And she ended up being asked to come use her efforts at the Crimean War, and so that is what she did. So now that we have some background information on her, it's time to discuss what made her decide to become a pioneer of nursing. The doctors during the Crimean War did not actually want nurses there because they had such a bad reputation from previous times. So it was surprising to her to be invited to this war to help. But she was invited. She brought 38 women to work with her at this hospital, according to agnescott.edu, Florence Nightingale. Her initial mission was to come in and to just be a nurse and help saving all these people, but these men were dying just left and right, and what she found out was that they were dying because not only because they were injured from the war, but also because they were in this hospital that had just horrible sanitation issues, and they couldn't get it controlled. So what she did was not only took care of these people, but then she also commissioned different places to bring in food, like proper food and fruits and vegetables, Band-Aids, bandages, stuff like that, to take care of these ill people who were basically sitting inside of their own messes during the war. And what happened is she took the death rate from 60% down to 42%, and then by the end of the war down to 2.2%, all through her efforts at saving the sanitation issues. She actually earned the nickname Lady with the Lamp, and she earned this because she would come in at night and take care of all these sick and ill people, and she just never stopped making an effort to get everybody better. And I found that on Florence Nightingale and the Crimean War from Fee Elizabeth in Garofalo. So now that we know all of these wonderful things that she did to save these men during this war, we're going to discuss what was accomplished after the war. So when she came back from the war, once the war was completed, she received an engraved brooch. It was called the Florence Nightingale Jewel, and she received that from the Queen. And then she also received $250,000 to do with what she wanted. And so according to Florence Nightingale, mother of nursing, Kanmini Hossein and Alavi, she used that money to open up the St. Thomas Hospital, and inside of that hospital, she actually opened up the Florence Nightingale School of Nursing. And so she was able to do that, provide a place for people to come and become nurses. She received many honors upon her return. Everybody thought she was just amazing to save all of these people. And then she just throughout her entire life, she wrote books about nursing, and she just accomplished so much. So today, in conclusion, we discussed her background, why she chose to become a nurse. We learned about her efforts during the war and what saved many men. And then we also discussed the opportunities presented to her during or after the war. She was a woman who changed the view of nursing and saved many men from dying in the Crimean War. And now I am finished. Thank you.